Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our Kids Grid. Welcome to the Kids Grid race. Here, this is the championships for the Kids Grid League. My name is Kendrick, and I'll be your announcer today here. Welcoming up the Storm, Emily Mejia, Sole Rivera, Nina Diaz, Aiden Rivera, Anthony Berrio, Tyler Clark, Lucas Cañeja, Aaron Scheinheit, Anya Melian, Sophia Enwing for the Storm, and for the Fire, Evan Diaz, Joshua Mejias, Emily Berrio, Dylan Blake, Alina Mohammed, Aya Mohammed, Tala Stamberg, Sarah McLaughlin, and Gia Griffith. This is going to be a huge matchup for the kids. Everything's on the line for the kids here today. They've been training all season long for this kids championship grid race. This is an exciting race to watch. This is the next generation of the Florida Grid League here. These kids vary from different ages and different backgrounds, and they train so diligently to make it to this point in the championships. They're going to be executing these same races as the adults. In the blue, you see the Storm. And in the red, there's the Fire. We have some sibling rivalries from these teams, as some of these teams have brothers and sisters on both teams. This will be an exciting matchup before our matchup for the Florida Grid League All-Star Game and our championships here tonight. As the kids grid's getting coached there by Coach Melian in the blue side there, and Coach Krezmien from the Tampa Bay Brigade up there for the red for the Storm. And in the blue you have Coach Melian, which also has a daughter playing for the kids grid. Our first event is going to be the partner forward. First race, partner forward, going to be 9 deadlifts at 25 to 45 pounds. 10 seconds before we start. And the kids are off. Deadlift 25 pounds. As the Storm's already in progress. And we have Mohammed here in quadrant number 1 for the deadlifts. That's 45 pounds. And the Storm are taking the lead here with their front squats. That's 5 pounds there by Tyler. Stepping up is going to be Lucas right behind him. They're going to execute 9 repetitions. Each of these kids have their own job they have to do. Lucas knocking out the front squats there. And we go back to the Storm here. Storm is finishing up. They're going into quadrant number 2. As quadrant number 2, moving on to 7 deadlifts. That's 35 pounds by Evan. Evan doing a great job there. As the kids grid's already in quadrant number 2, pushing forward. Storm is pushing forward already into their front squats. As the Storm pushes ahead of the Fire trying to make up some ground. The Storm are already in quadrant number 2 in the back end. They're finishing up the 7 front squat. That's Nina Diaz right there on your screen. As the Fire trying to catch up there in quadrant number 2. And the Storm substituting out their players. Moving in, here comes the kids in quadrant number 3. This is where the weight jumps up. That's 45 pounds. You see their kids cycling. That's Aaron for the team there. And Anaya Melian, 5 deadlifts. That's 85 pounds that she's doing quickly. Already moving in to the front squats. 30 pounds from the Storm as they're taking the lead here. Looking at the Fire, giving everything they got, still in quadrant number 3, pushing forward. Already doing their front squats. That's 30 pounds there for Sarah. As they substitute out, look at them move quickly up the grid. Both teams substituting their players, which will get to quadrant number 4 first. All right, we got the Storm picking up the pace here. That's 3 deadlifts, 125 pounds for Anthony Barrios. And in the finish section of last quadrant number 4, we got the kids already in the front squats. It seems head to head here. Both kids front squats, 35 pounds. Who will cross into the finish pounds out? And the fire cross into the finish line first. Wow, it looked like the Storm had it there at the very last minute, but the Fire were able to knock out those last couple of reps. Those 3 front squats were at 35 pounds for Aya Muhammad. Anthony Barrett gave everything he's got, but in the end, the Fire take this partner forward.
Carbs are my essential every day. Since I started using it, my workouts daily change. I would say the recovery, that's what it helps me the most. At the end of the trainings, the end of the season, your body doesn't get too low or too destroyed. Your body have time to recover and you feel it day by day. So I would say carbs and recovery are, for me, my essential.
If you're like most people, you've probably heard about telehealth, but are still confused about the concept. After all, isn't being able to see your doctor in person an important part of treatment? Well, here's the thing. 80% of all family doctor and primary care needs can be treated via video. That's right. Imagine if you didn't have to book an appointment or take time off other important tasks to see your doctor for 80% of your health issues. That's what telehealth offers. Plus, it's convenient and available 24/7. This gives you the freedom to see a doctor anytime you need, whether at work or in the middle of the night at home. Also, the professional care is not only just as good as seeing a doctor in person, it's also way cheaper. I mean, if you could get the same quality services you receive at your doctor's for way less money and without the hassle, why wouldn't you? Install the Antidote Health app now to get started.
We get it. You're the 5 a.m., up and at 'em, getting in your cardio before the sun is up tight. The heavy lifting, no rest day, squat till you drop, giving it your all, and then some type. The working on the weekend, burning the midnight oil, hustle all day, every day, cause one day, you're gonna show them all. This is what you're made of type. And like I said, we get it. Because we are too. And we designed our bars for us, so we know they're good enough for you. Want more, do more, be more. Breakout Bar.
And we're back. The Florida Grid League Kids Grid League Championship. We are up. Next is the mirror. In the mirror, we're going to be doing hand cleans. 15 seconds before the start of this race in the mirror. These teams are going to have to work together, boys and girls, coordinating how to move that barbell down the field. First team across the finish line wins, and the race is on as we have Emily and Aaron in quadrant number 1 for the Storm, and Joshua and Emily in quadrant number 2. Storm on your screen there. That's 15 pounds for Emily, 35 pounds for Aaron. As the Storm moving quickly already into quadrant number 2, they're moving quickly. 10 hang cleans, not a problem for these kids. That's Aiden and Nina on the barbell there. And you see the coach Paul there guiding those players. Look at that coordination go as the the Fire are behind the Storm here just a bit. The Fire taking the lead here. Storm is actually doing very well, but the Fire trying to take the lead away from the Storm as the Storm is cycling through that barbell quickly. Storm is already in the blue, crossing into quadrant number 4 already so quickly. Look at these kids move so late, and Lucas cycling that bar quickly as fast as they can. The Fire has to try to catch up, but the Storm are dominating here in quadrant number 4. They have the last couple of reps here. Who will cross into the finish line? And the Storm cross over in first ahead of the Fire just by a couple of seconds. The Storm taking it over, taking those 2 points from the Fire, making it 3-3 for Storm and Fire. Great job by both of these teams.
I see everyone that they can meal prep on weekends. That's perfect. But I don't usually have that time because that weekend I used to program my clients and everything, and just having my weekly box coming up, it's just like perfect because I really can like take advantage of those days, and I'm not just cooking and then programming again and then I have to come back and cooking because that things take like 3 or 4 hours to cook. I really love Rebuild because it's super helpful. I usually choose the performance plan because it's not dairy, it's gluten free, and it's soy free. When you eat to perform, those points are so important. Like there's a lot of things that you have to keep in mind because we literally eat to perform.
There is no shortage of diets that offer quick fixes and magic pills. Let's be honest, they don't work, and they often leave you worse off from where you started. We are here to change all that. We will show you the truth and provide you with the valuable education you've been missing. Take control of your diet, perform better, and be happier. Book your free consultation at opbnutrition.com. 1% better every day.
And we're back for 30 seconds before we start our next echo. I saw one of the coaches, Krezmien, one of our commercials, coach for the Fire. Fire located in the red on the top of your screen. The Storm in blue at the bottom. This echo is going to be overhead squats, burpee, pull-ups, and snatches. There's going to be 30 single arm double overhead squats. The Storm, and you see on your screen, that's Nina right there for the Storm. They had to complete a total of 10 reps. And for the Fire, we have Sarah right there completing our 10 reps. It looks like the Fire is really moving fast with those overhead squats. That is really, really strong showing there by the Fire as the Storm are slowly cranking out those reps. Aaron stepping up there for the last couple of 10 reps. As Aaron's finished up those 10 reps, the Storm are getting faulted out in their last overhead. Still moving forward, and the Storm already starting on the burpees over the bar. That's Aiden right there on the burpees over the bar. Evan and Aiden are going head-to-head up against the burpees over the bar. They got to complete a total of 15 reps here. Evan's got to finish 7 and steps in Joshua for the Storm. Lucas for the Storm. Lucas for the Storm here, 4 reps for him. And the Fire's got to finish up. Joshua finished up the last couple of reps. He's got 8 reps he's got to complete before they move into the next quadrant. And the Storm already moving up to the pull-ups. Both teams on the pull-up bars ready to go. That's Gia against Lucas there. Gia in the red for the Fire, up against Lucas in the blue. Stepping in is Anthony. He's got to knock out 8 reps as the Fire already pushing ahead. Tala staging up for her bar, trying to get onto that bar. She is little, but she is mighty for the fire. She got to finish a total of 8 reps as she's cranking every single rep out. Look at that strength. And the Storm already moving in. There goes Anaya, 7 snatches in quadrant number 4. She's got to finish up there as the Storm are taking the lead here. Aaron steps in for the Storm. She's got to finish off 5 cleans. As Aya is stepping in quadrant number 4, she's got to finish up those 4 reps. It is a battle here in quadrant number 4 as Anaya has finished with the last 3, and the Storm cross into the finish line, beating the fire here in the Echo. Current score, Storm 5, the Fire 4.
If I were to choose between a tire and a Flipsled, I would 1000% choose Flipsled. You can just do more. You can add weight, you can do multiple different exercises. With a tire, you're kind of stuck with the weight that you have and can only do very simple movements, probably on the top of my head, just like deadlifts and tire flips with it. With the Flipsled, you can do so much more. Pushing, pulling, flipping, squats, the whole 9 yards.
The fact that you can actually add as much weight as you want for your big lifters and then still be light enough for your female athletes as well. Not have to have so much square footage space for like tires. Okay, I mean, if you have different levels of tires, I mean, have 10 of them, that's a lot of square footage. And for a gym owner, I mean, you need as much square footage for your clientele as possible.
And we're back, and we're going to be executing another Echo here. The Echo is actually traditionally done twice, and we're going to follow the same rules for the championships here for the kids. That means each kid knows their role, what they got to do. You saw the last one where the Storm took over the last Echo. Let's see if the Fire can get it done. It's an exciting matchup. These kids have actually been training all season for this, putting in a lot of work. They're proud parents here sitting in the audience. We have a fantastic crowd here in freaking CrossFit out in Weston. We're going to be redoing 15 seconds before the start of the next Echo. Players getting ready here. Storm versus Fire. The Storm took the last one 5-4. Here we go. Quadrant number 1. Again, Nina for the Storm in the blue right there. Dumbbell overhead squats. That's 10 pounds in their hands. As you got Emily with the 10 reps in quadrant number 1 as well. Stepping in is Sarah as well. Sarah moving really, really quickly on those dumbbell overhead squats up against Tyler. Tyler is definitely not moving faster than Sarah. Sarah, this seems to be the strength for her that's going to give the advantage to the Fire as they move forward. 10 pounds is definitely not a problem for Aaron. For the Storm here, Aaron's got to finish up those 10 reps up against the Fire. Evans already on the 15 burpees over the bar, taking the lead here for the Fire. You could tell he's a little out of energy, but not for Aiden. Aiden is already at full speed here, flying over that bar for the Storm. And quadrant number 2 in the blue there, that's Storm right there. It looks like the Storm has a couple of rep lead as Joshua is stepping in. We're in quadrant number 2 now, where Lucas got to do 4 more reps. As the Fire already taking the lead here, they're doing their pull-ups. Gia knocking out those 7 pull-ups. The Fire taking the lead as Tala stepping up on their box. Look at her try to get to the middle of the bar. Tala against Anthony, 15 pull-ups they have to finish up here as Anthony's going as fast as they can. Tala is cranking out those reps as hard as they can. Anthony stepping in. That was Lucas before for the Storm. Lucas stepped out, Anthony stepping in. He's doing the last 8. E4 quadrant number 4. The Fire are done. The Storm have to catch up. But guess what? The Fire are moving forward. Anaya against Aya in those snatches. That's 7 snatches that they have to do. These kids are in a shootout right now as they trade off in that bar. That's Anaya swapping out with Aaron. Aaron is going to finish up those cleans. He's got to do 5 cleans. And the Fire vaulted out. They thought they finished up, then they didn't. And the Fire crossed into the finish line, almost taking it. Aya and Emily didn't realize they were doing it. The Fire took that race away from the Storm. Both the Storm and the Fire are tied up 6-6.
Grid is like super fast fitness, and it's really unique because it's guys and girls on the same team. And unlike other sports, you don't have to be good at everything. You get to showcase your skills of what you're really good at. A lot of people confuse CrossFit and Grid and think they're the same thing, when really they're very different. Some of the movements are similar, and they might look like, oh, you're doing the same exercises, why isn't this CrossFit? But with CrossFit, you have to be good at everything. If you want to be competitive, you can't have any holes in your game. You have to be really strong, you have to be really fast, you have to be really good at gymnastics and have a really good engine. But with Grid, it's totally opposite. You can literally just be really strong. You can suck at burpees and a 20-minute Metcon, that doesn't matter. Your only job at Grid is to be really strong and move a barbell really fast. Or to be really gymnasty and be a ninja on the rig or on rings or whatever. Or just be someone like me who really likes burpees and likes to do a lot of that stuff. You know, like I'll never be the strongest or the gymnastiest, but I have a decent engine and I can move really quick. So for me, it's good because I get to do the stuff that nobody likes to do, like the box jumps and the burpees and that kind of stuff. Whereas my partners will save me, and they're going to do the back rolls to support and the crazy stuff on the rings that I have no business doing. But together, that's how we win matches, because we all kind of come together and do the stuff that we're good at. I love Grid because, especially after college of being a collegiate athlete, I get to be a team athlete again. But the really cool thing about Grid is I get to compete against guys and beat guys at stuff. And they see us as equals. There's been times where guys have to go against girls and they're like, oh crap, I don't want to go against her. She's really good at this movement or whatever. And that's, you don't see that anywhere else. It's usually a soccer team has all girls or all guys, and it's like girls are really good at one thing in this sport, guys are really good at one thing in that sport, but it doesn't matter what you are. You're a human playing on this team, and you have a specific role that's important. And that's really cool to see, especially for women who think that they can't play sports with guys or whatever, and they see us on the Grid like, wait a minute, they're sharing a barbell with a guy, like they're going against a guy, and they're keeping up or beating that guy. Like, that's just so cool and really empowering that we just get to feel as important is our counterparts, and it's just we're all needed to be on a team in order for the team to win.
And we're back for the kids race. Up next is gonna be the ladder. The kids have really fought hard in that last race for the Echo. And the ladder, this is where our strength specialists get showcased. Some of these kids are lifting some impressive weight here. You have 2 lanes here. The lighter lanes on the right of your screen. That's 15 pounds right there by Tyler. Tyler moving up to 25 pounds there. And he's going to be doing a clean ladder there. Clean and jerk. Correction, a clean and jerk ladder already at 35 pounds. Tyler moving in for 50 pounds. Oh, and gets faulted out there at the 50 pounds. And for the fire, we have Gia here in quadrant number 3 getting a good for 35 pounds for Gia there in quadrant number 3. Impressive showing. And we have Nina here stepping in for quadrant number 3 at 35 pounds, moving up to 50 pounds for Nina, and she puts it up. Oh, a good clean and jerk at 50 pounds. For the fire, we have Joshua Mejias, 15 pounds. Good. 35 pounds in quadrant number 3. And clean and jerk. Wow, he's doing a split jerk there. Impressive movements there. Now in quadrant number 3, Aiden stepping into quadrant number 3 for 35 pounds. Aiden putting it up. Good for 35 pounds. Aline putting up an impressive 50 pounds there. In quadrant number 4, 50 pounds for Aiden. And he gets a good. Up next we have, looks like Emily Barrios. They switch up the lineup here for the fire. Emily moving into the hard elements here. And Anaya here in quadrant number 3 for the storm. Anaya Melian here in quadrant number 3 putting up 85 pounds. An impressive showing. Anaya stepping in, the strength specialist for the storm. Anaya putting up quadrant number 4, 125. She gets faulted out. And we have the fire here in quadrant number 1. Moving into quadrant number 2, that's going to be 65 pounds, I believe. In quadrant number 2, it's 25 pounds. That's a lighter weight there. That's 35 pounds for the fire. Putting it up, 35 pounds good. Moving on to the 50 pounds. As the fire stepping in. Look at that concentration from the fire. Putting up 50 pounds. Trying to get it up. Look at the pain cave as she puts it up. And the fire, oh, gets faulted out. Switching over to the Storm Soleil Riviera there in quadrant number 3, 35 pounds. Moving into 50 pounds in quadrant number 4 for the Storm. Gets faulted out, switching back to the fire. Looks like we have Sarah here. Sarah in quadrant number 4, stepping up. Sarah knocking out those 35 pounds. In quadrant number 3, we have 85 pounds being put up by Joshua. And it's good. In quadrant number 4, he's stepping up to the 125. 125 for the Storm there. He's putting it up. Let's see if he can get it overhead. Look at that form by the Storm. And 125, what an impressive showing. That's 50 pounds coming up for the fire as we get all the kids putting up. Look at that impressive split jerk by the kids. And it looks like this is Sophia knocking out quadrant number 3, 35 pounds for the Storm. As the Storm finishes up that nice quadrant number 3, the fire already knocking out that barbell. That's 50 pounds being put up by the fire. Barrios putting it up, pushing hard, and beating up against her brother. 50 pounds by the fire. Impressive. Impressive showing by the fire in the strength specialist. Normally in the ladder, we have a time cap, but in this, we love to see this impressive showing as Tala stepping up. Tala knocking out 25 pounds. Tala on 35 pounds. Look at Tala, that strength. She's short, but she's mighty. Tala stepping up for 50 pounds. Look at the concentration here by Tala. Oh, she gets vaulted out, crossing at the finish line. And Storm finishing up their ladder here as we got the last couple of kids here for the fire. We got our last member here, last player in quadrant number 2 here, 25 pounds. Great job. Moving up to quadrant number 3, that's 35 pounds. Putting it up, 35 pounds. What an impressive display of strength there. Look at him walk up to 50 pounds. 50 pounds, he puts it up. Look at that with a smile on his face. Oh, almost toes down with the barbell, vaulted out. Oh, he's like, oh, my back. Yeah, great job by the Fire. As he needed to tighten up that core for the last race. We're gonna tally up the score, see who won that last ladder. We'll be right back from our commercials, for our commercials.
A lot of people don't go to the doctor because they're afraid the doctor's gonna say, stop CrossFitting. We should never be our patient's limiting factor. Our job is to help our patients hit whatever goal they want to with no restrictions. And I think today's healthcare model doesn't allow that because your insurance will limit that. Being in an insurance-based clinic, a lot of times you get restricted on what you can treat, how much of it you can treat. And then half the time people are told, oh, well, it hurts when you do a kipping pull-up, don't do those anymore. Rather than, hey, let's find a way to resolve this so you can go back to doing that. You want to go talk to somebody who does those things and totally understands what you're doing, rather than going to somebody who's never done any of those before and maybe understands biomechanics really well, but if they can't actually physically watch you do it, it's going to be really hard for them to fix that problem. So I would say, if you're dealing with any kind of pain in the gym, we're the people to go to.
We all possess an innate, savage-like instinct. Whether you want to accept that or not. Being relentless, not making excuses, getting after it. There's the easy way and the born primitive way. Failing is okay, because it doesn't matter if you're the lion or the gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be running. Born primitive, made for the modern savage.
And we are back from the last event. That was our ladder. This is where the gymnastics specialists get to showcase the Jack and Jill. 50 knee raises, 25 pull-ups, 10 rope climbs. We're tallying up the score from the ladder as we got Aaron against Evan. Aaron in the blue for the Storm. Got to knock out 50 knee raises. So each kid has been assigned their responsibility. Evan already off the bar, knocking out 10 knee raises. Stepping in for Joshua, there goes Nina knocking out her 10 up against Joshua. As Nina shakes off her hands, Soleil steps in for the Storm as the Storm taking over here, the lead, as they're trying to get as much as he possibly can in. Sarah stepping in for the Fire as Tyler's trying to make up some time, trying to get those knee raises in. Dylan still hasn't finished up as Sarah is waiting there. All right, Sarah stepping in ahead, taking the lead. There goes the Fire taking the lead as Emily gets staged up, and Emily kicking in the afterburner to catch up to Sarah here from the Fire. The Fire on the right in the red shirt, the Storm in the left for the blue shirts. As the Storm up first off the rig, and we're in progress with 25 pull-ups by Lucas. Lucas got to knock out 5. Tala's got to knock out 7. Tala is small but mighty as she gets her 7 done, as Sophia stepping in for the Storm, trying to get those 8. She's employing the butterfly technique, an impressive technique by Sophia here in the blue. And Aya is going up against Sophia right now. Storm in the blue, Aya in the red, as they're trying to get off as many repetitions as they possibly can and push ahead. Anthony already stepping in. He's got to knock out 8 more reps. Look at Anthony move here as Gia stepping up, strapping on those deadly grips. Anthony finishing up his reps, and there go the rope climbs. Anaya already on the rope climbs. Right behind her is Aya. So it's Anya against Alaya. Aya against Anaya, 2 reps they have to finish. That's 12 feet into the air that these kids got to do. Lucas is already on that rope. Look at Lucas move up that rope. They got to go all the way up and tap the bar up there as the Storm's taking a slight lead here as Emily's trying to knock out Aya is still on the rope as Emily steps in. Aiden is on the ropes here for the Storm as the Fire closing inch by inch up the rope. Rivera up that rope, going up that rope inch by inch, moving faster. As Sophia standing by, Aiden trying to knock out that second rep. Looks like the Storm are taking the lead here as Sophia steps in. She's gonna do 2 repetitions as we're still looking at Aliyah on the rope trying to finish up. Aaron is stepping in as waiting for Sophia to finish her next rep. Once she gets that rep down, there goes Sarah taking a big leap off that rope. Sarah's got 2 reps in as Aaron stepping in. Look at Aaron move quickly up that rope for the Storm. Aaron looks like this is his skill to do as he moves quickly up that rope as the Storm finishing up and the Storm crossing into the finish line ahead of the Fire as the Fire finishes the last couple of reps. We have Gia stepping in. Gia's got to finish up 2 more reps as the Storm are congratulating each other. Great job by the Storm as the Fire crossing, getting 1 point. And now a word from our sponsors.
Bubs is named after Glenn "Bub" Doherty. Glenn laid down his life saving others in Benghazi, Libya, and this brand is a tribute to Glenn and his way of life. At Bubs, we live by the motto, feel great and do good. And the feel great part is by virtue of all the products that we make. Collagen protein, MCT oil powder, and more. We're feeling great with all the products that we put out there to help you live your best life. And we're doing good by always giving 10% of all profits to charity.
If I were to choose between a tire and a Flipsled, I would 1000% choose Flipsled. You can just do more. You can add weight, you can do multiple different exercises. With a tire, you're kind of stuck with the weight that you have and can only do very simple movements, probably on the top of my head, just like deadlifts and tire flips with it. With the Flipsled, you can do so much more. Pushing, pulling, flipping, squats, the whole 9 yards.
The fact that you can actually add as much weight as you want for your big lifters and then still be light enough for your female athletes as well, not have to have so much square footage space for like tires. Okay, I mean, if you have different levels of tires, I mean, have 10 of them, that's a lot of square footage. And for a gym owner, I mean, you need as much square footage for your clientele as possible.
Zero sugar, zero fiber, zero health benefits whatsoever? Huh, that's better. Olipop. Naturally sweet, nothing fake, supports digestive health. Delicious soda that's actually good for you. Anything else is a compromise. Olipop, a new kind of soda.
And we are back. Only 2 races left for our championship on our Florida Kids Grid Championship. It is take all or nothing. Whoever wins this matchup is going to take the championships for the Kids Grid. Current score, Storm 10, the Fire 8. Up next, we have the Triad. This is going to be an impressive display of strength and speed we have dumbbell burpee squat cleans, 10 pounds, going to box jump overs. That's going to be a 20-inch box these kids are going to be jumping over. Then 3 rope climbs, finishing off with 15 cleans at 35 pounds. As the coaches go over these strategies with these kids, 15 seconds before we start. Race, and here we go in the triad. All 3 players are going to be moving at the same time. So you have Emily, Tyler, Soleil in the blue for the Storm, Evan, Dylan, Alina for the Fire in quadrant number 1. They're doing burpee squat cleans, 10 pounds in each hand. They got to finish 7 repetitions before they move into the next quadrant. 1 rep left for the kids in the Storm. 1 rep left for the Fire. And these kids are already substituting out. The Storm getting ready to move on to the next quadrant. 15 box jump overs at 20-inch. That's a 20-inch box. As they're waiting for their teammates to show up, the Fire already start in motion. Looks like the Storm are waiting for that last repetition to happen in quadrant number 1. The Fire taking the lead here as they're already in progress in their 15 box jump overs. They're waiting for the last member. It looks like Emily's trying to get that last couple of burpee squat cleans, giving everything she's got. And there they go, Aiden, Anthony, and Lucas for the Storm in the blue, already in motion as fast as they can. They know they got to catch up to Gia, Sarah, and Aya, but the Storm already finishing with their last couple of reps. There goes Tala up the rope. Tala, Gia, and Joshua got to get up the rope to get started in quadrant number 3. As the Storm already finishing up their box jumps, the Fire already in progress going up the rope. Anthony knocking out those rope climbs, flying up that rope as they got as Fire, Tala, Gia, and Joshua still on the rope. Tala trying to get that last rope climb finish up. She's inching up, getting there, giving everything she's got. Look at inch by inch trying to get up there. And the Storm already switching out from the rope climbs. They go into the cleans, last quadrant working, and we still got 1 more kid on the rope climbs. Now we have on the cleans already in progress, Nina, Anaya, Sophia in progress in quadrant number 4 for the Storm as they're taking the lead, waiting for Emily, Joshua, and Aya for the Fire in the red. Emily, Joshua, Aya, and Sarah. Actually, it's Sarah, Aya, and Emily cranking out those cleans, 35 pounds. Check out how these kids are cycling the bar quickly here in quadrant number 4. Looks like the Storm finished up to get full to the last rep. 2 more reps left for the Storm. And the Storm cross into the finish line ahead of the Fire. Wow, that came down to the last couple of reps. But the Storm pulled it through. Great job by the Storm. Those kids moving fantastic on the grid. As we move into our last race of the day, our sprint relay, we'll take a word from our sponsors.
A lot of people don't go to the doctor because they're afraid the doctor's gonna say, stop CrossFitting. We should never be our patient's limiting factor. Our job is to help our patients hit whatever goal they want to with no restrictions. And I think today's healthcare model doesn't allow that because your insurance will limit that. Being in an insurance-based clinic, a lot of times you get restricted on what you can treat, how much of it you can treat. And then half the time people are told, oh, well, it hurts when you do a kipping pull-up. Don't do those anymore. Rather than, hey, let's find a way to resolve this so you can go back to doing that. You want to go talk to somebody who does those things and totally understands what you're doing, rather than going to somebody who's never done any of those before and maybe understands biomechanics really well, but if they can't actually physically watch you do it, it's going to be really hard for them to fix that problem. So I would say, if you're dealing with any kind of pain in the gym, we're the people to go to.
are my essential every day. Since I started using it, my workouts daily change. I would say the recovery, like that's what it helps me the most. At the end of the trainings, like the end of the season, your body doesn't get too low or too destroyed. Like your body have time to recover and you feel it day by day. So I would say carbs and recovery are for me my essentials.
And we are back. The 15 seconds for the start of our sprint relay, the last race of the day. This is going to be a relay race. Every time the kid finishes the element, they're going to complete their element, then run to the start line and sprint to the finish line. 20 Dexter squats. That's Nina against Emily. They got to complete 20 repetitions before moving on to the next element. In the sprint relay, only one player can be used for the race. There is no substitution. So once the player executes the race, they can either stop at the last repetition, switch out for another player, or complete the element and race down. Once the player finishes the element, they are done. Current score, the Storm 12, Fire 9. And the Fire, the first one across the finish line right behind the Storm as we move on to our 5 toes-to bar. As we move into our 12 thrusters, we're going to be doing 12 thrusters at 20 pounds. That's 20 pounds in each hand. Soleil against Joshua in the red. You have a change of players. Soleil in the blue here. As the Storm finishing up, the Fire take the lead here in the last element here as the Storm finishing up their last thrusters. But the Fire already on the bar. The Fire doing those toes-to bars. The Storm doing the toes-to bars here. And the Fire completing up their couple of reps here. As the Storm finishing up, it looks like the Fire are taking the lead here as we got snatches in progress here. 45 pounds being moved by Sarah here. 45 pounds being snatched by Sophia for the Storm. As you see in your screen here, Sophia knocking out 45 pounds, moving as fast as you can. But Sarah already moving ahead for the Fire. Fire taking the lead here. We got to do one handstand walk for 2 quadrants as we have Dylan already moving 40 feet. He's got to complete. Look at Dylan move here for the Fire as the Fire taking the lead. He's got to finish a handstand walk for 2 quadrants. That's 40 feet, ladies and gentlemen. That is impressive showing handstand walk as we have Anthony on here for the Storm moving quickly down the field. Anthony gets stalled out as the Fire taking the field. As the Fire taking the lead here. And Anthony finishing up the last couple as they start with the 3-bar muscle-ups. Or pull-ups, I should say. Tala finishing up her 3-bar pull-ups right there. And Tala racing ahead. Tala taking the lead here for the Fire as right behind Aaron. Now it's against Emily and Lucas. They got to do 3 rope climbs. And we are paired up as we got the rope climbs in progress. Looks like we got Rivera in the blue. They're both rep for rep here in the rope climbs. This is a shootout here in the rope climbs. We got 2 more reps left for these kids. They're rep for rep. Rivera finishing up. As they call back, he left too early for the Storm. He still got 1 more rep left. And the kids didn't realize he had 1 more left. Mohammed trying to get up there. Rivera, Mohammed. Now they're neck and neck, inch by inch, both going at the same time up the ropes. This is a nail biter. Who will touch first? Rivera finishing up. Mohammed finishing up. She's trying to get up and sprint. As the kids racing down the field. Up next, we got burpees to 5-foot 9-inch ring. Lucas against Gia here. That's 5 feet 9 inches that they're going there. That's up the bar. Lucas against Gia. Lucas for the Storm, Gia for the Fire. We got rep for rep here on the kids doing a great job. 2 more rep, 1 more rep left for the Fire, 1 more rep left for the Storm. Oh, the Fire finished first. As the Storm got 1 more rep, he gets faulted out. And the Storm falling behind as the Fire taking the lead here. 1 more rep left. It comes down to Anaya and Aya as Aya starts up her clean and jerks first. 2 reps in for the Fire. 1 more rep left for the Fire. And the Fire finishing off first ahead of the Storm. And Anaya up for the Storm's got to do 3 clean and jerks. And the Fire taking the sprint relay. And the Fire finish on.
Blake Kidder, Gainesville Wild strength specialist. Through training, came across the Grid League last season, went through the Florida Grid League trials and got a call from Adam. Said he was putting together a new team and kind of want to start it with the strength specialist and build around there. And so, he was the first coach that came and gave me an opportunity, so I jumped on board. Being with the Wild collectively, it just brings back so many memories of being in college. I can tell you from the very first time we met, it was so cohesive. I mean, it's a team of athletes that just bleed passion. I think what makes us such a strong team, yes, we're very athletic and we've got utility athletes, gymnastics, and we have strength, but you can't coach the unity that we have. It's something that happens natural. And I think that's what separates us in the league is adversity is gonna happen in these races. And you can see it on the faces of some of the other teams. I will say, the Wild always finds a way to keep it together, fight adversity, and battle back.
And a close match here. Team Storm wins the championship for the Kids Grid League, our first championship in the Florida Grid League for this season. Look how excited these kids are. Oh my God, I'm so emotional. This was a fantastic showing by these kids, an impressive showing by the Fire, but the Storm was able to pull it through. Look at this camaraderie they have from these kids. Brother, sister, up against each other. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what the kids are able to demonstrate. Imagine what the adults can do. You got to join us. Up next is going to be the All-Stars. Final score, Storm was 14, Fire 12.